points as you've seen in a college football game.
Yeah, I mean, really proud of his. One of the things we've challenged each of our guys. I mean, I thought, going into the season, I talked to him about, the things that we felt like he needed to improve on, being a downhill runner, being explosive. And I tell you the thing I was most proud of him is what he said to the media. What his response was. He talked about his faith, talked about his teammates. I just like the brotherhood that we have on our team, and very, very impressed. I mean, very impressive. But obviously, we're adapting our system and utilizing the skills and talents of our players, and him being one in particular. I think guys like Kalen, DeMario, I think DeMario had 30 carries. I mean, you're talking about physical. I thought our offensive line probably made we had dramatic improvement with O-line, dramatic improvement at quarterback, dramatic improvement at receiver, dramatic improvement at running back. We have, Kareem Moore's playing as good a corner play as we've had here. I think Armand played, we've had dramatic improvements there. We had 28 points on defense that we gave up, due to just misalignments and things like that all things we can correct. I think DJ Calhoun's playing his best football. So Kalen's performance was obviously, you let it speak for itself. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I think 140 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns, and what he said is what I'll say. He brought his offensive line in here, and he gave credit to his teammates, because I think that's what's unique about this team is the synergy that they have. And whether one week it's DeMario doing, scoring 5-8 touchdowns, or it's Kalen's, whoever we're going to take what they give us. But I was really proud of him and how he handled that, and it showed, class and character of how the grace in which he handled that success. And reality is what he said. We're 2-0. That was a nice win. Go to the next one.
Todd, you knew that game was going to be a test for your secondary. After watching on film, just how would you assess your performance there?
It should have been a blowout. I mean that with respect. I thought we did what we needed to do. Their quarterback was never in rhythm. I thought we did some things to really get him off balance. We gave up a check down. The running back was really good. I thought he was a quarterback, and then him, and then obviously the receiver core. Obviously they scored a lot of points, but we gave up 28 uncontested points where we blew coverages and things like that. One of the guys that I want to point out that to me epitomizes what we're all about is A.J. Latou. A.J. plays nose tackle on nickel in our nickel package, played devil, backer, and base, and then on rundowns played Sam linebacker. Played all 3 positions because of injuries and how we're depleted, and that was a challenge. So there were some things that were a challenge to us, but the bottom line is that Arizona State University is 2-0 and beat Texas Tech, and our guys we believe in us and believe in what we're doing, and said at the beginning of the season we got something to say, and we hadn't done anything yet. So. It was, but going back and looking at it, was mistakes that we can correct. We didn't pressure much, but we had a plan that we thought would help with things, and really we had them put away, and we kind of let them we give up a guy completely uncovered. I mean, we just blew the coverage, and so but there were 28 points on those plays. So going back and looking at it, they made some great catches. I mean, Kareem almost picked off a pass down there on the goal line, and the guy made the play. I think their quarterback you'll see what he'll do. He'll have a big year. I mean, he's really, and I didn't care, Doug. I don't care. I don't care how many yards somebody gets. I don't care all that stuff. At the end of the day, what matters is who's ahead on the scoreboard, and that's what you're going to be. That's what you're going to be remembered by, and that's what's going to determine who wins the championship. So I tell you what, I like our guys. I think Kareem, I think Armand are playing at a very high level. We don't have Lau back full speed yet. He played sparingly in the game. So that would help to get him back, obviously to get Salamo back, to get Christian back. We'll have J.J. Wilson will be back this week. So Salamo will not. We hope to have him back by conference.
Yeah, back to Kalen. Obviously, he had a huge day and was very physical with the Texas Tech defenders.
Mm-hmm.
What makes him or a guy like Demario Richards so tough to tackle and bring down?
Well, one, they're very well trained. They're very strong, very powerful, very gifted individuals. But I think what really separates them is they got tremendous heart. They're guys that really want to do well. One of the things that's most impressive to me is watching those guys before the game address the offensive line, and that's what I just like this team. I like the synergy that we have, and we're going in our 5th year. We got guys that are very experienced, and I think and really you watch that game and watch some of the runs those two guys are finishing. I mean, brutal finishes. I mean, physical. I mean, really imposing, powerful guys. And I mean, our offensive line did Cody Cole probably had the best blocking game of any tight end we've had since I've been here. So we did some good things, and the key to our success is our ability to be a team that is a dominant run team, and a team that makes yards after contact and yards after catch. So those guys are very gifted, talented young men, but so much of that you see coming out of them is their heart and determination, and it has a lot to do with their training too.
Todd, you had, I don't think any jeopardy throws, no interceptions by Wilkins, maybe 5 negative plays out of 90 plays from scrimmage. What did you make about the offensive execution overall?
It was really good. I mean, one of the things that like I said before, Coach Lindsey is, in the bowl game, one of the things that, the origin of our offense is about run, play action, pass. Obviously, that sounds boring. It's not boring. I mean, obviously, take what the defense gives you. But what I like is that he listens, and we have a strategy. We played, it was 18 more snaps than they did because of our effectiveness running the football. And obviously, I thought Manny had an outstanding game of taking what they give you and the reads that he made. I thought he did a great job of distributing the football and made a huge improvement from week 1 to week 2. But what I like about Coach Lindsey is that he understands that if we have 100% ball security, and that's not just everybody says that, but it's the focus of our offense is to take care of the football, because we got away with one. We put the ball on the ground and they had a penalty, but we had 100% ball security in that game. We had 0 sacks. We had the same exact thing in the bowl game. And then, so you look 2 out of the 3 games he's been here, we have really done a pretty good job of taking care of the football. I think we've had 1 turnover in 3 games. And then from a negative standpoint, there were 8 negative yards. There were 8 negative rushing yards, whatever. 0 sacks. If we will accomplish those 3 things with the system that we have in place and the players that we have in place that are quality players that are disciplined, then we're going to score points. And so we had a lot of growth from week 1 to week 2. Obviously, we probably had a little bit more of a dynamic plan than we had week 1, and it's just 1 game. So if we will continue to stay grounded in that, and that's what I like about, we got a staff that understands, and we don't sit around and talk about what our philosophy is. We all believe the same way. And so he came in here, his background is from that same origin that Gus and I, we put together back in 2007. That really, that's what wins football. It's not complicated, but it's hard to execute. And I think, got to give a lot of credit to Manny and how the growth he had from week 1 to 2. And I think a lot of that is just not playing. You get in a game, he's not played in a game in a long time, and then he truly did a great job of taking what they give. I told him my favorite play of the whole game was when he pulled the ball down and there was nowhere to run and he threw the ball away. He threw the ball away one time. And so that was my favorite play in the game because it showed he would, when he did run, he stayed alive as a passer. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just take off running. You know, he went through his progression and he did some great things. So we've got a great system there in place as well as we got confidence and we got I think we're 60% of the way there as a football team. There's 40% out there that we can improve on. So we're only halfway there in my opinion. So and to be successful in our league, obviously we're going to have to win a lot of close football games and you got to play defense. And so we've got lots of things to work on and get better with, but there's lots of positives. There's lots of positives there after that. That was a game that, when our kids came in here today after the game, we fully expected to win. And we went out and we got the job done and did it. And so we're 2-0. We go to week 3. We got to have the same passion and focus this week. Every single week to us is one thing. We're playing for a 1-0 championship every week, and that's kind of our approach.
Todd, you've mentioned before that you like Manny's leadership. What growth have you seen from week 1 to week 2 with leadership specifically?
Well, it's your actions more than what you say in leadership. I mean, we talk about, everybody's an influencer. I'm an influencer every day, and I earn my leadership every day. It's just like one of the things in coaching, that's why I tell Manny, I said, being a quarterback's kind of like being the head coach, man. They're going to love you when you win, and they're not going to like you very much when you don't. And so you really got to be grounded in what your values are and what your beliefs are. And people really look at you closer when you're going through a tough situation. And so I thought, everything wasn't as smooth, in week 1, and I thought he showed great leadership in the times of adversity. And then in this game, how he showed leadership is what he did on Monday, what he did on Tuesday, what he did on Wednesday, what he did on Thursday, what he did on Friday, and then what he did on Saturday was all a marked improvement from the week before. And so it's your work. It's your works. It's not what you say. And I like that he doesn't say that much. He really made improvement. And now what we need to do this week, we need to have the same thing. We need to get better every single day. We need to have a better Saturday than we had this Saturday.
The third regular season game you've played in Texas since you've gotten here. Just how important is that? I know it's been a priority. How important is it for recruiting purposes?
Well, I think it's our third largest alumni base. How about that, Mark? I'd say you fed me that one right there. I'm not supposed to say that, right? That's impressive that I remembered that, huh? No, but I do know that. No, obviously that's my home state, and we recruit there, and we have a lot of players on our football team from the state. And so that's one of the reasons why we play there, because it's hard to recruit a place you don't play. And so we have third largest alumni there in the state of Texas. So it's something that we get great support when we go there. We have great turnouts. When we played Notre Dame in Dallas, and when we went to Houston, we've had great turnouts. And so need all of our Texas alumni to come out and force for the San Antonio game. So, but it's an important. For us to play there because of that, because of our alumni base, and because it's where we do have obviously our home base is right here in this state and within a gas tank away in Southern California, and that's number one priority. But I think that's if you look at outside of our base area, that's probably a very significant area for us to be able to recruit.
Todd, you mentioned Layu and Christian starting to feel better. Do you expect Layu to be back a little bit more this week? And how much does it affect your defense having guys like that back?
No, it helps tremendously. I mean, guys, no one's asked me that question. Salamo Fiso is really, really important to our system and what we're doing. And as you have, we have critical errors that happen due to miscommunications. That's been tough. Not having him and not having Layu in full strength, that's our two most experienced communicators. But you know what? Hey, our guys have stepped up and done a great job. I mean, we're 2-0, and but Liu's a guy that is I mean, he's almost silent in how his personality and his way, but he's very well respected. But he is a great communicator on game day, and he understands what we're doing. So we're hoping to have him back in there full force. And but we're also trying to be very smart too, because all these games are important, but conference play is the most important thing. And so we want to make sure we're smart and we get him back healthy before we put too much on him. But I expect him to be back. I expect him to play more.
You mentioned Manny throwing the ball away was your favorite play. Mm-hmm. What was your least favorite play of the game?
My least favorite play in the game? Well, obviously it'd probably be one of the when they scored touchdowns, probably. I don't know. What was my least favorite play? Didn't like the roughing the punter deal. That was be up there. I didn't like leaving an uncovered, probably. When we had it uncovered we're playing man and we totally left a guy uncovered. That'd probably be my least favorite play.
You mentioned the offensive line a couple of times, but you had to make some changes there because of the Robertson injury. Can you just talk about how that played out?
Yeah, I was really proud of Quinn. I mean, Quinn did a great job going out to tackle, and then Stefan did a super job kicking over to guard. And you want to know a person that I'm excited about. I'm excited about AJ. I mean, AJ, played really well. I mean, obviously has lots of things that he has to improve, but the physicality that he played with. I mean, we were knocking them off the football, and 4 new starters up front. The potential of that group is extremely high, and obviously we hope to have Zach back this week as well. But and we have a lot of competition. It's just like we've had some minor little injury deals, but at linebacker and O-line, but we also got competition. So, that's what I tell them. Man, you want to get back quick as possible because we got pretty good issues there at those places with the guys that we have. We got quality people there. But I was really proud of the offensive line. I thought, 0 sacks and 300-yard rushing. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Todd, you played a lot of coverages in that game, and you always do. How much does seeing the different ways that you defended that team and your success inform your ability to plan for Cal or Washington State or other teams?
Yeah, I think you've probably seen a lot. We've rushed 3 a lot this year in the 2 games that we've been in. We've tried to play more coverage stuff, and 2-0. It hasn't gone exactly the way you want it to go. We also probably are being a little too complex because we've had some really we've had too many breakdowns there. But we're going to do whatever we got to do to win games. We need to impact the quarterback. We understand that and know that, but it's just different. It's different kind of how the schedule lines up too. There was a reason why we did what we did in week 1, and it was really to prepare us for to win the game, and in all due respect. But we going against a team like Tech, we felt like that with where we were at, you take the critical errors out and the busted coverages, and we win by 3 or 4 touchdowns. And so we just got to execute our system and execute the things that we're doing. So, but we did a lot of stuff and a lot of studying over the spring and the summer, and so that's what you're seeing is some different looks that we haven't showed. Those are things you probably haven't seen in the past, and our deal is make sure a team can't run the football, and we haven't had a team yet that can run the football, and then we've got to eliminate the big plays. But they threw the ball vertical 3 times in that game. So, what happened? We just left. We had some busted coverages, and then we got you can sit there and play soft coverage, and they quarterback pretty good. He executed all the way down the field and score on you too. So you got a challenge at times too. So, but we obviously how the game's going and what's going on in there impacts all the coverage stuff. But we'll continue to evolve what we're doing, but it also has a lot to do with our opponent and who we're playing.
Your thoughts on Manny when he's upfield and he's hopping defenders? Does that inspire the team? Does that get the
Inspires me. I haven't said anything to him about it. I just tell him to take care of himself. But you know what I like? And I shouldn't sit there and probably say that, but I like the edge he plays with. I think when he runs down there and he does that, I mean, this isn't a quarterback, this is a quarterback that gets right next to the edge and puts the throttle all the way down. That's what I like. I like that. I like how he did that. I want him to take care of himself and be smart too. But he's done it, I guess, 3 times pretty effectively. So I don't know. I like that he was markedly better in taking care of the football. He had done it in the first game and the ball had dropped down, and I talked to him about, hey man, when you're falling, you're doing those things, you got to make sure you keep the ball because trouble's coming from behind you. And so he's really been coachable and gotten better there. But I like that he's out there competing. I like that he's out there performing. I think it impacts our players. I think our guys like his mentality. We want to be smart, don't get me wrong, but I like the fact that he's a guy that's not out there scared to somebody to hit him or whatever. He's a guy that can hurt you with his legs, but he's making great decisions, and he did a great job in that game of really hurting him with his arm. So I don't know. I haven't said anything to him about it. I know. But we want him to be smart. But I don't know. Just being honest, I like that play. That kind of got me. Kind of got me fired up. So that was a heck of a play.
I talked to Grizz a little bit about the technology that you guys are using, putting the little GPS device in the shoulder pads. I know that your guys are in the early stages of that, but how has that helped so far just to monitor the energy?
It really helps tremendously, Doug. You don't realize sometimes that our 2 corners in that game did the equivalent of 4.5 miles in that game. So when you play a team like that, an air raid team that's going to run so many times, they're going to run the guy down the field whether they throw it to him or not. Cody Cole, our tight end, was up close to same amount, a little over 4 miles. Tim White, 4.5 miles. So, as we go into those games like that, for instance, like we're going to adapt the snaps. In other words, we need to maybe have Kareem cover a few less kickoffs or a few less kicks, or maybe on first down we're going to sub him a little bit, because where you're going to feel the effects of that is not in week 4, 5, and 6, but 11, 12, 13. So we really, it's something that's very vital to us that we use to be able to kind of, I get a deal in practice, how many yards, that our total team, or the guys that we're monitoring, how many yards that we ran collectively as a group, and then how much each one of them, like we try to really look at guys like Tim White, and, Kalen Ballage was a 4.5 mile guy, DeMario had 30 carries and over 4 miles. On him. So kind of as you work in the week, as they recover and all that. But on the same hand, it's not like that's something unique to us. It's going to be, that's just kind of part of playing that position. But it helps you in how you're training and how you're practicing and knowing when to kind of adjust those things. And so it's something that's been very vital to us to be able to use, to be able to make sure we keep guys fresh, help us with the recovering process. It's like, would it be different to play an air raid team on the road? So if we got back at 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, would that change what we did on Tuesday when you ran 4.5 miles on the road? So you see what I'm saying? That's how we're kind of using that to try to help us, just to try to be smart, because you guys know this, I never use it as an excuse, but, staying healthy and having guys available I can tell you, I can go back 4 years and tell you the games where it hurt us not having somebody in the game. You know what I'm saying? Utah last year was really important. I mean, so if we can monitor them and be smart about how we're handling their recovery and the training, and what we're doing with them is really that's how we're utilizing that.
Todd, I wanted to get some thoughts from you on Carlos Mendoza, a kid who's overcome a lot of adversity and injuries, and now in his 5th year in the program has been there when you needed to help at the linebacker spot.
Great young man. I mean, got strong relationships on our team. He's a big-time special teams player for us, and he played Sam linebacker, Will linebacker. I mean, he's a guy that, and he's played well. He's done some really nice things in the last two games, and he's a guy that just, I can still remember going to the home visit at his mom's house. Let me tell you, best enchiladas, period. Really good enchiladas. And I tell Carlos all the time, if he'd bring me some more enchiladas, he'd probably get a little more playing time. But no, I'm really proud of Carlos and how he's developed as a young man. Great character, young man, great faith. I mean, just it really has had an impact on our team through his relationships he has on our team, and I'm excited that he's been getting opportunities to play and to perform, and he's done a solid job for us. That's what's in. We've had a lot of we've been very thin at linebacker, and because of guys not being held out or guys being hurt and things like that. He's done a great job for us.